thank you so much for coming on and just sharing more about your story and where this program has gotten you. So I'm so excited for your story and the journey that you've been on, and I can't wait for others to hear about it. But first, before we jump in, do you mind sharing, like introducing yourself and sharing a little bit about where you were before you started this program?
Okay. My name is Sarah. I am 34 years old and I live in northwestern Illinois. My husband and I have been married for going to be a year and a half in January, which is crazy. I'm a middle school science teacher. Prior to this program, much like many of us women dealing with vaginismus, I was full of doubt and anxiety and negative self-talk. It was just not impacting my intimate life with my husband, but my emotional and spiritual self was also just down the tubes. And finding this program and the community has just completely made me a different person from a year ago in 2023 to where I'm at the end of 2024.
That's awesome. So where are you at now? Like, how are things going for you now?
Uh, Very well. My husband and I are able to have successful, pain-free intercourse. Yeah, we were able to start having that like starting in July of 24, and then it just progressively got better as we both were learning more about ourselves and me learning more about myself and how intimacy actually works. Because from what we see in movies or read in books or are told in counseling, premarital counseling, nobody really tells you. And to ask your mother about it is really kind of awkward. So, yeah, it's been wonderful for our marriage and ourselves, and again, myself, not just to be able to do that with my husband, but in all realms of my life.
Yay. I'm so excited for you guys and where you're at.
Mhm.
Okay, so you said you started the program in May, and then in July is
Mhm.
when you guys were first able to start having pain-free, amazing penetrative sex. So the question is, did you get to phase 10 by July, or were you guys able to accomplish that early? How did you know you were ready to try?
Again, everybody's journey is different. So my journey, I believe I was around phase 6 in the program, if I'm remembering right. My husband and I took a anniversary trip, our 1 year marriage anniversary trip to Milwaukee, Wisconsin that weekend, and we were just kind of like, let's see what happens. Who knows? And then it did. And then we kind of just continued like, hey, that went fine that time. Let's keep progressing, keep trying. And like I said, the more we have done that throughout the past months, it's just gotten better each time. I can tell a difference, and so can he. So I wasn't technically at the end of the program, but it just kind of happened and we felt like let's just go with it, let's just try. So that was really exciting.
That's awesome. Many clients actually transition to having fun, pain-free sex before they hit that phase 10, phase 11
Hmm.
official kind of transition period. And so I love when we get to celebrate that happening early. And so thank you for sharing that, because a lot of women happens this way. And that's the way my heart really is for that to be, for that transition to happen, of you guys knowing your relationship, you understanding your body and what you feel safe doing, and then making that transition happen. So I love that you were able to get to that point, and you still continued with the program, and still
Yeah.
learning, which is great. But not everyone continues. Some people are like, all right, peace out, I hit my goal. But
Yeah.
then you stick around, which is great. I love that. Okay, cool. So before you started though, how were things? Were you able to get them in at all, or was it like no go?
um I remember our wedding night, it was definitely like, nope, thou shalt not pass, and it was very difficult. And then I was able to do, once I started the program, dilators fingers weren't a problem. It was just my husband that was the issue. For whatever reason, my brain was just like, nope, can't do it. And then just learning through relaxation techniques, mindfulness, all the things that this program has just really taught me to train my brain to accept that for my body. And then me knowing that this is good, this is what it's supposed to be, just really kind of changed everything for us. And yeah, learning from, yeah, again, for doctors or whomever to say, "Oh, you'll get through it." It's kind of like, yeah, but have you done it yourself? Like, because if not, you kind of don't get it. So yeah, just I can see my old self at the beginning of the program wanting to be this woman who was like, "You can do it, cause I can," and now I'm like, "I'm that girl." So yeah, it's just great. Yeah,
Done it. You put
yeah,
in the hard work.
I
You
did it.
healed in
Yeah,
so many ways.
yeah,
You are that
yeah.
girl who's past it, who
Yes.
can say, you'll
Yep.
get past it. It's worth it.
Yep.
That's awesome. Awesome. And
Mhm.
okay, so do you use dilators at all now?
I don't. It's really nice not having to uh find that quiet time, come into my room and yeah, all those things. So, I don't think I've used dilators since like August, September, and now this is December. So, that's been really good. They're in my nightstand and that's where they're gonna stay until I throw them away.
Oh, awesome. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
So as you think back on your journey in the program, what were some of the biggest hurdles that you had to overcome? Anything stick out in particular that was just like a little extra challenging for you?
Um, I think for me it was the mindset of I have to be here by a certain time. That's how I felt, just my personality. But I never had an issue with inserting fingers or oh my gosh, now it's dilators. Those were things I always wanted to do. Everybody's story is different and how they react. So luckily for me, it wasn't like oh, I can't ever do those things. It was just more of getting my mindset to change that I can do this. I will do this. I am not a failure. I'm not broken. I'm not any of those things that we tell ourselves because it is a very difficult journey to be on to feel like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I do what everybody else does? So that was
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
story for that.
I love it. I love that you
Yeah.
and then prioritizing yourself and prioritizing your body, its needs, showing
Mhm.
up and honoring it. We're better wives, we're better teachers,
Mhm.
we're better friends, we're better mothers because we're
Yes.
able to meet our body's needs better. It helps us to process this world and all the craziness that will continue to come at us. So,
Yeah.
yes. Oh man. Okay. Is it worth it? Is penetrative sex worth going through all this effort?
Oh yes, definitely. There's just no other experience that I've had that's quite like it. Like you really do see what it was created and intended for, of what God has told us in the Bible and what we're told about what marriage means. One man, one woman, the intimacy in marriage. It's just been, yeah, great. Emotional connection, the physical pleasure, just all of it is it's worth it for sure.
I love it.
Take the time you need however long that takes to get yourself there because it is worth it. Because again, it's not just about being able to have intimacy with your husband, it's a whole new spiritual, mental, emotional growth that has made my marriage and myself just a whole lot better person
Hmm,
for sure.
I love it. That's awesome. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And do you find that like a lot of people ask like, will I ever get desire or sex drive? Will that increase with this? Do you find that that's changed as you've healed?
Yes, I definitely find my drive increasing over these past few months. Last year, Sarah, this time it was just kind of down the tubes. If I thought about it, I shoved it down because it was like, it's not gonna work. Many nights go to bed crying, or we would attempt, and it was another failed time, and I'd cry myself to sleep, or feel like I shouldn't even be sleeping next to my husband, and I'd go sleep on the couch or sleep in another bed, which isn't good for your marriage, but just the mental strain that it was putting on you then emotionally was just, yeah, not good for myself or my marriage. So,
And now
yeah.
it's changed.
Yes. Yeah.
I love
Right. There, yeah. It's only, yeah. It's only gotten better. We're closer. We're a stronger couple going through this. So, what the enemy meant to get us has turned around for sure.
yeah. Oh, that's what God does though. He takes
Yes.
the broken and he turns it into something beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So I often say like Yeah, my journey was long. 8 years is a long time to struggle, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't change it. I would do it all over again for where my marriage is
Hmm.
now. Would you say the same, or you're like, no, I think I'd still go without the vaginismus?
Um, yeah, I think everybody would say we won't have to deal with vaginismus. But I definitely like it has built us and made us a stronger couple. I don't think people who haven't had this struggle realize like how important intimacy is, and like we've really had to work towards it where others can just boom, it made it happen. And then as they work, it gets better. But for us, we realized where we were and where we're at now, and we're continuing to build to that great epic intimacy that everybody strives for. And you're really seeing that it is worth it and just sacred and special to your marriage.
That's really sweet. I love that it really does kind of lay a foundation for as you grow in intimacy, you have that foundation of like how sacred it is and how beautiful it is because we've been through the trenches. And I know like we serve a God who's going to take that and he's going to be like, all right, I'm going to redeem it in huge ways. And I know he's done
Hmm.
that in my life, in yours, and in many clients who have been through this program. So, oh, Sarah, thank you so much for sharing all of this. I really am so excited for you guys. And I appreciate just the encouragement that you can provide to others because it's a dark spot, especially the beginning, but
Yes.
you have provided so much hope to others. So thank you for sharing your story. Is there anything else you want to share or just kind of say before we end?
Yeah, any woman entering this realm, like Jess is amazing. This community is wonderful, and you will get through it. Don't lose hope. You're not broken. You're not dirty. There's nothing wrong with you. God will use ashes and turn it into something beautiful. So hang in there and trust. You got this. Yep.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much, Sarah.
No
This is
problem.
a joy. It's been such a joy to get to walk on this journey with you.
Yes.
I really appreciate you and
Hmm.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Jess.